Hello, everyone. Welcome to an amazing story, a story that will inspire you and also help you improve your English skills. Today, we will explore the life of Albert Einstein, a man who changed the world with his ideas and courage. As you listen, focus on the new words and phrases. Albert Einstein was born on March 14, 1879, in a small town called Ulm in Germany. His father was Hermann Einstein, and his mother was Pauline Koch. They were ordinary people. Hermann was a businessman who worked with electrical parts, and Pauline was a homemaker who loved music and learning. When Albert was born, nothing special was noticed about him, except one small thing. His head was unusually large. His family even joked about it and didn't know if he would grow up to be a normal child or not. No one knew that this baby would one day change the world. Albert was a very quiet child. He didn't speak until he was about 3 years old. He would sit for hours and watch the world around him, as if he wanted to understand how everything worked. When he started school, things did not go well. He didn't like the strict and old-fashioned way the teachers taught. Students had to memorize everything, but Albert wanted to ask questions and find answers. His teachers were often angry with him. One teacher even told him, "You are a disgrace. You will never be successful in life." These words made him sad, but they did not stop him. He was weak in some subjects, like languages, but there was one subject he loved more than all the others: mathematics. He said that math was the language of the universe. Solving math problems felt like solving puzzles to him. His family always believed in him. His mother saw that he liked music and encouraged him to learn the violin. At first, he didn't enjoy practicing, but slowly, music helped him feel calm and focused. He could no longer handle the strict rules and harsh teachers. Finally, he decided to leave school without finishing it. Instead of going to school, he began learning on his own through books. He read science, philosophy, and mathematics by himself. This was a risky decision, and many people thought he had ruined his future, but Albert didn't care. For him, real learning was more important than following rules. At the age of 16, he wrote his first scientific paper. It wasn't perfect, but it showed that he had a brilliant mind. Then he tried to enter the Swiss Federal Polytechnic School, but he failed the entrance exam because he was weak in subjects like history and French. Instead of giving up, he tried again. He studied harder than before and worked to improve his weaknesses. When he was 17, he tried again to enter the Federal Polytechnic School in Zurich, and this time he passed. But his problems were not over yet. Even though he was studying at one of the best schools in Europe, Albert's independent and rebellious nature made it hard for him to fit in. Albert loved mathematics and physics, but he wasn't interested in the other subjects. His professors didn't understand his way of studying. Some of them even disliked him because he didn't follow the class rules. One professor told him, "You are a smart boy, but you have no discipline." During this time, Albert met a girl named Mileva Marek, the only female physics student in their class. Mileva was very intelligent, and like Albert, she loved science. The two of them became very close and spent many hours discussing scientific ideas. Mileva was not just a classmate, she became Albert's closest partner and inspiration. Albert even wrote to her, "Together, we will conquer the world of science." In the year 1900, at the age of 21, Albert graduated from the Polytechnic. He was excited to start his scientific career, but life had different plans for him. He could not find any job. He applied to several universities to become a professor or a researcher,
but all of them rejected him. His former professors did not give him good recommendation letters because they thought he was not a motivated student. This was one of the hardest times in Albert's life. Imagine studying for years and entering the real world with hope, only to receive rejection again and again. But Albert never gave up. Finally, in 1902, he found a small job at the Swiss Patent Office in the city of Bern. His job was to review inventions and check if they were original. It was a simple job and had nothing to do with physics. At first, he felt disappointed. He wanted to be a scientist, not an office clerk. But instead of complaining, he used the situation in the best way possible. The job gave him free time, and he used that time to think about his scientific ideas. He called the patent office his thinking laboratory. Even while reviewing files, he quietly wrote down his theories on paper.
In 1903, Albert married Mileva, and they had a son named Hans Albert. Their life was simple but difficult. Albert's salary was low, and the family lived in a small apartment. His friends told him to forget about his dream of science and focus only on his job. But Albert said, "I would rather struggle for my passion than live comfortably without a purpose." In 1905, when Albert was 26 years old, something amazing happened. This year was later called his miracle year. Albert published several scientific papers that changed the world. 1. The photoelectric effect. He explained that light is made of very tiny pieces called photons. He later won the Nobel Prize for this work. 2. Brownian motion. He showed that atoms are real. And 3. The special theory of relativity. In this theory, he also introduced the famous equation which shows that energy and matter can be changed into each other. Einstein was just a simple clerk at the patent office, but with these papers, he shocked the scientific world. In 1 year, he rewrote the laws of physics. After 1905, Albert's life slowly began to change. Scientists across Europe started paying attention to his work. He received offers to teach, and Albert became a professor at several universities. Finally, his hard work and persistence paid off. By 1909, his fame had spread throughout Europe. He became a professor at the University of Zurich, and then moved to Prague to teach at the German university there. People saw him as a genius, a man who could solve the mysteries of the universe. But Albert remained humble. He said, "I am not a genius. I just stay with questions longer than others." At the same time, the world was changing. World War I began. Many scientists supported the war, but Albert was against it. He believed in peace and used his voice to speak for harmony and humanity. In the same year, something amazing happened. British scientists tested his new theory, the general theory of relativity. The news spread quickly around the world. Newspapers wrote, "Einstein's theory is proven true." For the first time in history, a scientist became as famous as a celebrity. People recognized him on the streets, and everyone wanted to see him. During World War II, when the bombs were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Einstein was deeply saddened. He never wanted science to be used for destroying human life. For the rest of his life, he worked for peace and for stopping nuclear weapons. He said, "Humans made the atomic bomb, but no mouse in the world would ever build a mousetrap." Even though he was one of the most famous people in the world, he lived a very simple life. His curiosity never decreased. He always had new questions about the universe. He died on April 18, 1955, at the age of 76. His last words were spoken in German, but the nurse beside him did not understand the language, so no one ever knew what he said. This was the story of a man who changed the world with his curiosity and courage. His life shows us that problems make us stronger. He said a famous sentence, "Try not to be a person of success. Try to be a person of value."